Hi guys, I'm Letitia and I want to show you how I made this newsletter template using Flodesk. I'm going to scroll down so you can kind of see how it looks first, and then we'll make this together. So this is a pretty standard monthly. I only send this out once a month, so it's pretty long, but very easy to get through. So I'm going to show you exactly how I made that. So when you go into Flodesk and you click on emails, which is the page I'm already on, you would go to create new. Now, in case you don't know, Flodesk actually comes with a bunch of different templates, and they have a newsletter section. So if you go to share news, there are a bunch of options that if you just click on view details, it'll let you scroll through, because this is obviously very pretty. That's a short one. If I went back to share news and I went to, let me scroll down a little bit. A multi-part newsletter. This one's going to be a little bit longer. Very pretty. Pretty. However, for me, I didn't find one that it looked exactly how I wanted it to look. So instead, I started from scratch. I'm going to name this newsletter test. I'm going to save it. And it automatically comes with like my logo in here and a section for content, which I don't want right now. So all you need to do, well, all I did in this instance was I didn't want this block, so I deleted it. And then I decided that up here, I wanted an image. Now, I ended up making an image. I made some little headers. So I'm going to drag my Canva screen in here. I came into Canva and made a few. I made this logo first because that's what I do, obviously. So I made a logo. And this logo is just a PNG file. Image file. I made with Canva, what you can do is you can actually make like a custom, like if I drag this window. In Canva, you can actually create designs in custom sizes. So the dimensions I did was 600 by 300. And 600 by 300 looks like this. So it felt like a good size header, not too large, not too small. I made a few different versions of it, and then this is the one that I went with. So with Canva, you can name the different pages, and then when you go to download, you can select which one you want. I wanted this one, so I would click done. I'm downloading it in a PNG, and I would click download, and then when it downloaded, I brought it into the computer. So anyway, so with Flodesk, you would just come in and upload your image. I made a folder for my newsletter. I'm going to go to 2020. This is February, and this is for the month of February. So I'm going to add that. As you can see, the automatic width for Flodesk's email space is 600, which is why I use 600 as well. It fits in here perfectly, it looks nice. And we're gonna look at this and say, okay, next I made a little section that had the social media link. So you come in here, social media icons. This is how it starts off looking, but I liked this one. And then I wanted a background color. So I'm gonna go to block. Right now, the background color is set to nothing. And I wanted the background color to be, it's not this color, but I'm gonna use this color for now. I have a bunch of different brand colors, so I could come in here and get my brand color. Let me come in here real quick. Get my brand color. I have a file full of like branding. So I would just come in here and get my medium cappuccino, which is what that color is that I made. Come in here and you can add your custom colors from your branding. Boom, and look at that. It looks very pretty. There we go. It looks exactly like this one. All right. So the next was this block. So I don't need all these extra spacers. I'm gonna throw this spacer down here in case I need it later. So now I had a little space. So I'm gonna do this. I made a little space. Here, instead of saying friend, if you wanted to actually give first name, subscriber's first name, you would click on fields and then click on subscriber's first name and then have a fallback value, which I could do friend. insert the field. So now instead of what it had there, it will either give their first name if they entered it. All my forms require first name, or it would just call them friend. And then it says whatever you want it to say. I didn't like this font, so the font that I use that looks kind of fancy is called Big Caslon. And then I'm like, oh, Caslon is really tiny, so I made it 16. And then I wanted this part to be a little bit bigger. So that's what I did for that. So as you can see, it looks the same. Great, looking good here. I'm gonna actually grab all of my copies so you can see what I did. All right. Not gonna reinvent the wheel. So anyway, same situation. So I'm gonna do the Big Caslon. I know it's in 16, and I know this part was in 18. All right. So now it looks identical. The next section that I wanted to do was just like a section break. So I'm just gonna click in here, grab text, grab this text, boom. And then same situation, I want this font to be the Big Caslon. That looks good. And then this block, I want it to have a special color. Is it the same color? Yeah, we'll do that same color. Let's do that one. I think that's it. Yep, that's the color. You may notice that in the other one, my complete background has a color, right? So if you just click out of the email section, there's a global style section. You can have a backdrop color, a canvas color. So your backdrop color would be outside of where you're editing. So I'm gonna do what I did. And if you wanted to change your canvas color, which would be the background of this, I could do the same thing. I could have it, ooh, that looks really pretty actually. I could do that, but I wanted it to be white. So I'm gonna leave it like that. The font, I always want the font to be black. And then the link color, I only like my links to be this color. This is my official link color. So those are the only things that I need to change with my global style. So now coming back in here, what's next? So next I added what looks like a space, and then I added these blocks. So I already put the spacer here. So below the spacer, they have different layouts that you can choose from. So you just go through and look through the different layouts that they have as options, and then you would just pick one. The one that I went with is this one. So you grab this one right here, and then you can change little things about it. So first of all, we know that my font is Big Caslon, and I want the color. I think I used this one. Let's see. I used this color. All right. So then you would just add your image. So same deal. You come in here now. You can change the shape if you want the image to be a circle, if you want it to be a perfect square, if you want it to be vertical. Oh, you could do two of them. That's nice. I wanted it to be a rectangle, so I left it as is. You just come in here. I don't think I put that in here because it's one of the first images. Okay, so basically what I would do is come into where I have all my images, which I have stock imagery. It's one of the first things. There we go. So I grab my image. If you don't like how it's positioning it, you can move it around. Do like that. Okay, so then you would come in here into this section and add your content. So my content was this. Oh, it's gonna go to that page. No, don't go there. Still went there anyway. Okay, it doesn't want me to copy. Okay, mine doesn't want me to copy and paste anything, but you don't need me to have the exact same thing. Same deal though, if you don't like the font, you come in here. I want my font to always be cohesive branding, so I want mine to be exactly the same across the board. So you find Big Caslon. You can make this one even bigger. Same for this. You just grab, I don't like this color. I would want it to be black. and it's not big enough. I want it to be 16. This, I don't want this to say read more. I want it to say, let's go. It's being all temperamental. I want it to say, grab a copy. You can say whatever you want. You can change the background of your button. My buttons are always this color. And then I would want the font to be white against that. And I don't think the font is big enough. There we go. And then what I do, since I want 3 of these, is I would duplicate it. You can flip this if you want it to be like the opposites, like, you know. I didn't do that for mine, but you could do that essentially. And then I would just duplicate it one more time because I had 3 of them. And then for this one, I want to flip it. Flip it. If you want the background to have a color, you can. See that? Looks pretty cool. There's so many different things you can be doing with it. For me, I didn't want my background to have any color, so you could just do this, or you could do white, whatever you want to do. All right, so now I have those 3 things that I created. As you can see, I had 3. And then I made a new section, and there's a spacer there. I like to add the spacers so that it breaks up the content a little bit before you add something else. So then I made another one of those text bars. But for me, I hate to duplicate. I hate to redo. Like I would have to set this setting all over again. So what I do is go to a section that looks just like what I want. I automatically duplicate it, and then I just drag one of them down. So I'm dragging this one down. Drag it below my spacer. Let me find my spacer. Yeah, there's no space. Let me drag the spacer back up here. Boom. So now I want the next section to say from the journal. So I would just copy that. Of course, it's annoying and changes the font. So just come in here, big Caslon, boom, from the journal. And then I got different things for my blog. So I just always add me a little spacer. These spacers that I keep talking about are right here. You click on spacer, and then you grab another one of those layouts. There are a lot of different layouts for how you would want to post like a blog post. There's one that looks like this, and you can try them out. You can click on them and see them, which is what one of the examples I showed you, that's how that one looked. It had like a solid color and then, you know, an image. There's things that look like this. So many different sections. I went with this one. This is my favorite for blog posts. So I went with this one. It has different sections. So you go to block when you want to change things about the block. I didn't like this color, so I'm going to grab just a random gray. Okay. The image, you click on the image, same deal. I have a folder, so I'm going to go in my February assets, and I'm just going to grab one of the images. I'm going to grab, this is like one of the first ones that I showed. So I upload the image. I don't see the girl. I want to see the girl. So like I said, you can just move them over. Boom. If you wanted to show her face even more, you could zoom in, and it zooms in here. And then same deal, you just edit the text however you'd like. So I want all of my text to be my big Caslon. Boom, big Caslon is there. And then I don't like that this is in gray, so I'm going to change this font here. There you go. Super easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like, it's not a big deal to make any of these edits. I like for my titles to have like a different color. So I would make it like brown, you know, whatever. And then you want it to link back to something. So you would click in here, click on link, and you would send them somewhere. So I'm going to just grab a link from my website. So I'm grabbing a link, boom, and now your link is there, or you can attach a file. So then again, I had this several times. So I'm going to dupe. All right, you get the gist. So now I'm going to add a new spacer because, of course, I have a new section that I'm about to do. Oh, one of the things that I did, so you know when you're reading through when you're reading a newsletter, they're going to show you the most recent stuff, and it has like nice graphics, and then they have some extra text, like extra little other posts that they want you to read that may be a little bit older from the archive. I wanted to have that as well. So what I did was I came down, they have this thing called link bar. Where is it? Link bar. And it's a bunch of different links that you can add. So essentially I just added several links. So this was testing this link, number 1. And then you would put a link for that one. And then I did another one, testing this link, number 2. And then you would put a link. Mine ended up stacking because mine were so long because they were blog post names. So testing link number 3. Then you would put that there. And for the block, I asked for it to allow me to do 4 links, but I just want 3 links. Okay, so they can click on these different things now. So now you have your links. Mine ended up being longer and wider, so it stacked them, which I also loved, but you don't even need to do that. And now you do the spacer, and then you add the next section. I already have a section header, so I don't want to have to do that again. So I'm going to grab this, dupe, drag one of them down. Boom. All right, I'm a fan of spaces, so I'm going to actually add a spacer there. Look at that. Gives it so much more. It makes it just easier for you to view when you add spaces in between. Look at that, because now that's really like a separate little thing. So now I wanted to introduce what I was about to do for everybody. So I did like a whole section here, another text section. I'm going to copy all of this. I do a lot of affiliate things, so I was explaining to them what affiliates mean and, you know, the benefit to them, the benefit to me, because you legally have to talk about that. And then there's my big cast line. And back to 16. Keep everything cohesive. Keep your branding cohesive. If you use 16 at the top, I don't want to scroll down and see some miniature text or some freakishly large text when all the other times you were using 16. Just keep it consistent. Okay, so now I added this cute little divider. So I'm going to come in here. They have something called a divider. The divider style you can change. I did this one, and then I wanted the color to be brown. So there's that. And then I added another space. I never used this. I used a button eventually. And then I came in here and grabbed the layouts. So now I wanted the layout to just be this image and text. So you can actually flip through the different types of layouts in case you didn't know. You can have it to be like image collages. They have different options for that. They have options for just graphics. Then they have the image and text options. So I wanted the one that had like the 2 columns. So I'm going to scroll down until I find that. It's like the last one. So I did the 2 column thing. And then I'm going to change the font to Big Caslon. Okay, 16. I need my font to be black. Oops, grab everything in here. It's being weird. I apologize if y'all hear my kid upstairs screaming and playing. He's 3. He is very loud, even though I am all the way downstairs. All right, so you see that that's been changed, and now I could add whatever fonts and stuff that I wanted. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of this because it's gonna make me redo half of that stuff all over again. It's really weird about keeping the fonts when you're copying and pasting. So I'm gonna copy all of this just to show you how I got mine to look like this, because one of the things that people were asking about with Flodesk is how can you add bullet points, and you can't. necessarily. However, you can use a program that I've always used for my my bullet points because it makes them look really cute. So I have this. This looks like it's the right font. I just need this to be, so if you look in mine, I had brown for the headers, and then for the promotion, I had it in that cute little color. So I'm going to change this to brown, and it's small right now. So I want this to be, whoops, I want this to be bold. Doesn't make it that bold because of this font. I just love this font so much. Okay, and I want it to look like that. Now that looks more like it. And then this, I like that this is small, but I'm gonna make this a different color. So now it looks very similar to what I did. Yeah, very similar. Okay, so you would just do the same for the other side as well. Just come up in here. I'm just gonna grab all of this because I'm gonna show you how to do these bullet points. So Flodesk doesn't actually come with the bullets. Oops. Grab all of this. Boom. Okay. Flodesk doesn't come with bullets, but I grabbed these bullets and I'm going to show you how to make new ones from a program that I use. Okay, there we go. Spaces are good. You want to break up text. Like you see, I have this broken up a lot more. I like to break things up. Boom. 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 Okay, I am gonna break up this a little bit. Boom. Okay. Look at that. Boom. Okay, so that looks good. So these bullets. I have some that I save as a design resource for icons, and it's called Symbols and Fancy Text. It's called coolsymbol.com. When you come in coolsymbol.com, there's a lot of options. I actually use Instagram as well. So you can grab anything. We're going to do something fancy so you can see the difference. So I'm going to grab this. It copies it to your board. And then I'm going to highlight this particular one and change it to that new one. So now you can see you have bullet points, fancy ones. I like to do cool stuff. So anyway, add my fancy bullets. There's always a workaround. I think with Flodesk, they were going for simplicity, because one of the problems I think with other email marketing platforms like a MailChimp or a ConvertKit or a Constant Contact is it actually requires a lot of skill as far as design goes and understanding email marketing and how you should set those things up. And I think the problem that Flodesk was trying to solve is for the people who don't know how all of that works and they just want something that looks pretty that they can send out. This program is really for them. So anyway, I don't like how this button looks. I want my button to, oops, no. So come in button style. I want it to be solid. I want the fill color to be my favorite. And then what did I make it say? Try Flodesk for free. So I wanted to say that, and I want it to be in all caps. Try Flodesk for free. And then you would give it a link. So you come in here, put your link as usual, and then go from there. And then essentially I just kept copying this. So I would copy this section first. Boom. Copied. And then you just drag it down. Oops. Okay, you're being mean. Damn. Okay, there we go. And then I just added the next section, and I think I was adding a spacer because this is way too close together. So anyway, I added the spacer there. I'm not going to do a million of these. I had like 3 of these. And then at the end, I just put like a last little message, just kind of signing off. So Here, I just added more text as per usual. I'm gonna grab this, copy, and I'm gonna come up in here and do that. Boom, oops. Let's see if it will keep the font. Nope, didn't. Okay, I wanted to at least keep the hyperlinks. Okay, and then I'm gonna change this font to good old Big Caslon, which is not appropriately sized. Oops, and I want all of it to be 16. All of it 16, okay. Doesn't even look big enough, okay. Boom, and I'm gonna separate that with a little space. These are already hyperlinked to different things. I don't know why it's making them touch. Have my hyperlinks. If you wanted to do a hyperlink, you would just highlight something, click on this link, enter it, and it will change the link to the color that you asked for your links to be, which I showed you that this is my color for links. And then I want to add my signature. So mine is an image because I want it to always look the same. So I'm adding an image here. Click back an image. Boom. Mine is in here somewhere. Letitia signature. Boom. It's going to come in and be huge. And you just resize it. So that's aggressive. So you would just resize it until it looks good. Look at that. Okay, let's see. Let's be normal. All right. That feels kind of normal. All right, let's see. Click out of there. It's distracting when I see it with the box around it. That looks fantastic. I added a space. I do know that. There's always a space. Add a quick spacer. Bam. And then I added another text section. Boom. I'm going to add text. This text just said, let's be Insta friends. I want this to be in the font that I told you that I'm using, Big Caslon. I want this to be like this, and I want it to be brown. I'm going to add another spacer, and then you'll see how I added, which ended up being my Instagram feed. So I wanted mine to have 2 rows. So let's be Insta friends. Let me see. Did I put a space between that? Let's see. Let's make it. Oh, I didn't do space. Okay. No space this time. So I'm going to come right here if you don't want that space. And then it has social icons, but they also have one that is just Instagram. There's Instagram. So I'm going to click on the Instagram one. I've already entered all of my links. If you haven't done that, you can click on manage linked accounts and then update yours. I already have mine entered. So for the block, I can change the grid. I want it to be 4. And instead of 4 images, I want it to be 8. Boom. You can change how they look. Right now I have it as the 1x1 classic Instagram square, but you can change it to vertical, which is actually kind of cool. That is kind of cool. We're going to leave it like that. I can change the space between the images. I can have it be even more spaced out. Look at that. It makes them smaller so that it fits. I could have them even closer together. So as close as it wants it to get. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Boom. See? There's 0 space, and now they're all touching. I always like to leave a gap. There should be a little gap. It freaks me out when they're all touching. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Bam. And that's it. You have exactly what I set up. So now for your newsletter, you would go and choose your audience who's going to receive this. So this is who is it coming from. I always put my name and then my company name in case they don't know my name. Then at least they would know the company name. They would know one of those. And I've already set up my sender email as my main email. If you have a different one, you can click here and add another one. Then you change your subject line, newsletter test, the best news of all time. All caps. You can even add an emoji. Do what you want. There's my little emoji. You can even do preview text if you want. And then you go to continue. Who's going to receive it? I would just add my recipients. I'm going to just do these abandoned cart people. Who cares? Okay. And then go to continue. And then when do you want to send this email? You want to send it now? You want to send it in 1 hour? You want to send it in 1 day? I'm going to say in 1 day. And then you schedule it. And then it'll go out. I'm not going to schedule it because it will come out, but the only person on that abandoned cart list is me, so it's okay. If you wanted to send yourself a test, let me go back and show you one last thing. If you want to send yourself a test, you go back to design email. There's 2 things you can do from over here. One, you can send yourself a test, and one, you can save this as a favorite. I like this as a template, so I would call this, sorry, everything's still in all caps. Newsletter, template, and then you would save that as a template so that you could use it at any time. But also you can send yourself a test. So it's going to send it to your only email address that's in there. It's coming from me. It can send it to whomever you want. So I might do one of my other email addresses. Oops. And then boom, add recipient. You can do multiple. I want it to go to 2 different people. I want it to go and then send the test now. Bam, and then it goes out. I just got a notification on my watch that it came, so I'm going to load it and see how it looks for people. So we're going to come up in newsletter test, boom, and here it is. It looks beautiful. And then you would just test and make sure that your links are working. So, it has a link to something. Grab a copy. Where does that go? Let's go into this image for now. Look at that. That's so beautiful. In the journal, boom. That's going somewhere. Oh, I sent it to my website. So that one actually has a real link. So it worked. Sent it to my website. Great. You just make sure that all your links work before you send it out to people. Test this link. Okay, all these links are things. It is funny to see that it made these look different, but they do still look like bullets. You can go to this consultation link, you can get to my Insta. It does go to my Insta, so that's awesome. And that's it. So I hope this helps you guys. And if you have any other questions, just feel free to ask and I'll do another video. Bye.